All right, so you may have saw the video where I had this car running and put it on the dyno, but you didn't see the results. They weren't very impressive. Some things were cool. It had 7 psi of boost from about 1500 RPM until the turbo came in, and the turbo came in pretty hard around 42 or so, and it had like 25, 26 pounds of boost at 42, 4300 RPM, which on a turbo this size is like a GTW 88 or whatever the hell they are, something gigantic. That's a pretty good response. The problem is that the horsepower curve followed the boost curve, and it took 25 pounds or more, 25, 26 pounds of boost to even hit 400 wheel horsepower, which is not impressive. So early on in the project, Mo had asked me, hey, so we're gonna hit like 800 wheel, right? And I literally laughed out loud and said, no, there's no chance of that whatsoever. I have no idea where we're gonna get, but I know that the internal intercooler in the supercharger is gonna be a restriction. I did not realize it was gonna be a restriction so soon, but it's definitely gonna be a restriction. So I'm gonna show you this intercooler, it's pretty cute. This. So all the air for all this horsepower passes through those little teeny little fins, which looks almost like a solid surface in the picture, as you can tell, but they're just really, really close together. But they occupy a large amount of the available surface area, you know, in these four ports here, these 4 slots. And here's the back side. This is the exit side. So, I mean, this intercooler is a really cool design. It's very similar to the intercooler found in like the STSV supercharged Northstar setup. So, it's a neat little thing, but it's really only good if you're trying to add 100 horsepower to BRZ. Over that, you're really choking it out. Thus the 25 PSI for 400 wheel thing. So I pulled it out. But I'm not going to put it all back together yet. We're going to do it with the Process West intake and just the turbo. And the idea behind that is we want to see what the turbo actually does on the car. If we put the supercharger back on right now, we'll never know what the turbo is really capable of and whether the supercharger was an improvement or hindrance. We just never know. So we're going to do it with just the Process West intercooler on there, IGT deletes fuel rails, same 1700cc injectors, called 4-bar map, and the turbo kit the same as it was, only with a couple redesigned pipes because you know, there's no blower in there. So once we figure out what it'll do in that configuration, then I'll give the car back to Mo, and he'll get to enjoy it for a while. And while that's happening, while he's enjoying it, I'm going to work on the supercharger kit and fix the belt system, make it actually function properly, and not throw belts and that kind of stuff, because the guys that did before were very incomplete. Just use that word. Getting that to work right. So I'll mock it up on another engine, I'll put it on a stand, and I'll figure out the belt system and get a tensioner in there that actually works and all that. And then later on, probably next spring or something, we will slap the blower back onto it and compare, see what it does. I know we're going to have a lot more lag now. Obviously, didn't have 7 pounds off of idle. That would not happen with the turbo, but how much is it going to pick up? I don't know, but that's what the experiment's for. So that is the status, and here it is right now. Hoses for days. So now that we actually get under the manifold, we get to clean up a lot of the stuff that was hiding under there, some of the ugliness. But that's it. Have a good day.